So this is part 7 of my childhood storytime series, and this is going to be all about learning that I cannot trust anyone. So, as I told you in prior videos, my dad was very strict, very possessive, very controlling, and also he had a lot of paranoia. Like I said, he came from a different country. He came from Jamaica, and he had the mentality of like, hey, it was already imprinted that he was going to be judged, that he was going to be treated unfairly. So he had those beliefs already imprinted in him. So he was like, damn, no matter, even if I go to the United States, everything, things aren't going to work out for my highest and greatest good. So there was always one part of him that held that belief that, he's going to get treated like shit. He's going to have to struggle. He's going to have to work hard. And because of how you look and where you come from, you are limited. Okay, so that was one thing. But then he also had a very strong connection to like his faith. Christianity still to this day, and trusting God. That's something that he has always believed in and has always imprinted. So it was like half and half. But this is what I mean when I would say like my father sometimes felt like he was a different person at some times. Okay, so I would witness my dad, magnetizing in so many different people, so many opportunities. People loved my dad's energy. People love my dad's energy. Okay. But because of his paranoia, it made us get stuck inside of a box. Okay. So for example, he would get invited to a lot of things, and then he would go to some things. But then while he would go there, and I would see him, and he would, kind of feel good, or he would present as though he's excited, he feels good, everything's, cool, calm, and collected. He's having a good time. He's laughing. He's smiling. All these things. People are talking to him. People are connecting with him, and I would witness that. But once we left the building and we got into that motherfucking car, it was a whole totally different that's when I would hear the truth then about the situation. Like, look at these greedy ass fucking people, like these greedy ass Americans. He would just say all of these things and bring back more racism. Like, this is why we would never, you have to look a certain way. Look at them with all that money, they, doing all these nonsense with it. And things like that. And like I said, I would witness that he had people that he would connect with that lived good lives. My dad grew up too. He was a independent landscaper. He would always kind of go to different places and go up to people and go to people's homes and ask them if they, wanted landscaping done. And he was fucking good at it. Like, when I say my dad was good at it, like, that shit look good. That's why till this day I have an aesthetic. I'm like, I like things kept neatly because I was able to witness that. But he had an eye and aesthetic too for working with his hands. He was always really in landscaping and manual labor type of work. But again, he would be so paranoid. He was like, yeah, those people are fake. After he had all those parties, they don't really mean that. They're only acting that way because they feel bad for us. That was his thing. That was another thing, is you can't trust them. They're only acting that way because they feel bad. It's because we're black. They feel bad, and it was like those were the type of things I would hear. So that was what was imprinted in my mind. So shit, because I'm black now, I'm going to be treated unfairly. I can't trust anyone because they don't really care about me. They only feel bad. They don't care about me. They're doing this because they feel as though they have to or they should, and it always kind of I felt like that energy. He would kind of make it feel as though everything was really like a charity. Yeah, so it was kind of hard to experience that because when we would be out there having a good time, it would be fun. But then when I would keep noticing the pattern of after we would leave that place, my dad's energy would change, and then he would be mad and upset because it's hey, back to reality after, you know what I mean? And it was kind of hard, it was really kind of hard. That was kind of where my emotions started being really shut down because my dad, that was another thing that I kind of wanted to pull in from the last video, is that we weren't really able to express our emotions. If I was sad, I wasn't able to express that, okay? If me or my mother freaking brothers would cry, once my dad, first of all, he would scream, shut up. That was we were not allowed to cry. He would literally scream on the top of his lungs to shut up if we were crying. So that was not a thing, you know. And then if we would not stop crying, we would get beat because we wouldn't stop crying. Make that make sense. Yeah. Make that make sense. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I grew up having those type of experiences. Like, what the fuck? I literally can't express my energy. I have to always be perfect. I have to always walk on eggshells. I have to always make sure that I don't do anything wrong ever, okay? When I tell you that my dad used to scream at us if we spilled anything, we could not spill drinks. It was wasting food. It was wasting shit. We could knock things over. He would scream. You wouldn't even have time to react without him yelling, clean that up. Screaming it, like, clean that up. And his eyes, that was the thing. Like, my dad, you could see his anger. You could literally see his anger. And it was scary for me, since I was so sensitive. But yeah, that's gonna be part 7 of where I started to learn that you can't trust anyone, because again, my dad, you know, told me, you know, you can't trust people because they're fake. So that was one of the first childhood memories constantly that I would see, you know, kind of replay, where it was like, hey, we're putting on a show, so you can't trust anyone. You can't even trust yourself, because, you know, you're not being who you are. You're presenting. You're being someone who you're not. So I learned that at a very young age. So yeah, but that's going to be part 7 of my childhood series. Be sure to give this video a like. Let me know if anyone resonated with this or if you experienced something similar. Also save this video and be sure to comment part 8 if you're ready for part 8.